Good afternoon, and we're with Mark Schubert of Golden West College of Huntington Beach, California. Yeah, I know people are saying, okay, David, you're interviewing Mark, but he's from California. How does this relate back to Florida? But if you look back in Mission Bay Makos in Boca Raton, Florida, there you were, head coach, 9 national titles. Tell me a little bit about your Florida experience and kind of where back then to where we are today.
We had a great experience at Mission Bay, built a state-of-the-art aquatic facility, developed a national championship team in basically 3 years.
Wow.
Had a lot of activity within the high schools in the area, Spanish River High School and particularly St. Andrews, and had a lot of fun at the state championships with our swimmers.
So going back a little bit further, how in the world, Mark, did you get involved with the swimming?
Basically high school swimming. You know, when I was in high school in Akron, Ohio, I had a great high school coach, showed us a lot of enthusiasm, and that's really when I developed the desire to be a coach.
So we've now moved from high school, now let's go into, here we are going into an Olympic year, and Mark, your name comes up several times. In fact, if you look back in 1980, I know we've boycott situation, 84, 88, 92, 96, 2000, 2004, even 2008. If I'm looking down the schedule, I'm seeing, Mark, your name mentioned there in the coaching staff. What's it like at that level trying to coach?
Well, it's fabulous. Sometimes challenging because as an Olympic coach, you're coaching other people's athletes, so you have to be very sensitive to what's made them successful, what their coaches want to do, but also, you have to involve your own enthusiasm and motivation. So it's a challenge, but nothing's more fun than coaching an Olympic team. So
in looking at the Olympic athlete, going back to again, back to the 80s, but coming forward today, how much, you look at the tech suits, you look at the training and everything, but how much has the athlete changed from then to back to moving to 2008?
Well, in 76, 88, 92, when East Germany was so dominant, the big discussion was drugs and use of steroids. And now, even though that comes up once in a while, really the sport's really cleaned up a lot. So the playing field's a lot more even, and it makes it a lot more fun.
Right now, in fact, Joe and I mention each week, hey, here's new students, or not students, but new athletes that are coming to the platform that are making OT cuts. It seems like today's swimming athlete is getting faster and faster. Where do you see this sport evolving to in the future?
Well, the pressure of the Olympic trials is something else. Even if you're an established athlete, even Michael Phelps feels the pressure at the trials to make the team, because not only do you have a lot of established athletes, but you've got these new young guys that are coming up and really challenging them.
Mark, back in 1997, you were inducted into the International Swim Hall of Fame as an honor as a coach. What was that experience like?
That was really like a dream for me. I've followed swimming for so long and admired coaches that have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. So it was a great experience. I had a number of swimmers that I coached that have been inducted to the Hall of Fame that were there, and it was quite a thrill to be there with my family and just to be a part of that history.
If you had any advice, we'll just kind of close out, if you had any advice if you had a chance to sit down and talk with a swimmer today, what advice would you give them?
Swimming isn't rocket science. It's hard work. And you have to pay attention to not only things you're doing in the pool, but things you're doing outside of the pool, like rest and nutrition. And the advantage that a swimmer has these days is the internet. You can really become a student of the sport, both technique-wise and training-wise, by paying attention to the internet and what the great swimmers do.
Well, Mark, thank you very much for joining me today.
You're very welcome.